call from Danny just after 6 that night. He said, "Tom, want you at the garage?" I said, "What happened?" He said, "Mike broke a club rule and Tom wants us to handle it." I said, "What did he do?" Danny said, "You need to hear it from him." Mike was sitting in the back room. His bike was parked outside. Tom put the file on the table and said, "You know why we're here?" Mike said, "I made a bad call." Tom said, "You put us all at risk." I looked at Mike and asked him, "Why didn't you tell us?" He said, "I thought I could fix it." I said, "You should have told us first." I've covered for these men before. I've kept things inside this room, but there's a point where keeping quiet makes the problem worse. Don't cover for him just because he's one of us. If he broke the rules, then he needs to answer for it. I stand beside my brothers when they tell me what went wrong, but loyalty doesn't mean we hide it when somebody crosses the line. Mike looked at me and said, "You gonna turn on me now?" I said, "No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm telling you to own it." He said, "You know what happens when the club finds out?" I said, "They already know." Tom pushed the file toward him, said, "You have until tomorrow." Mike looked around the room, nobody said a word. Then Mike stood up, said, "I thought you'd have my back." I said, "I do have your back. That's why I'm telling you the truth." He walked outside, started his bike, and left without saying goodbye. Yeah, don't cover for him just because he's one of us. If he broke the rules, then he needs to answer for it. I stand beside my brothers when they tell me what went wrong, but loyalty doesn't mean we hide it when somebody crosses the line. Crosses the line. I got home close to midnight. She was waiting in the kitchen. She asked, "Did you fix the problem?" I said, "Not yet." She said, "Is somebody in trouble?" I said, "Yeah." She asked, "Are you involved?" I said, "I'm trying not to be." She looked at me and said, "You've been doing this for years." I said, "They're my brothers." She said, "Then tell them the truth." I told her I wasn't sure what would happen tomorrow. She said, "You don't control it, just control what you do." Don't cover for him just because he's one of us. If he broke the rules, then he needs to answer for it. I'll stand beside my brothers when they tell me what went wrong, but loyalty doesn't mean we hide it when somebody crosses the line. If Mike wants me beside him, I'll be there when he tells the truth. again. Mike knows what he has to do. I'll be there, but I'm not covering for him. You knew the rules when you joined us. You knew what we asked from you. You don't make a call for everybody, then tell us what we're gonna do. Tom had the garage door open, 3 bikes were parked outside. He said, we're taking care of this. I said, who made up your mind? He said, I did what had to be done. I said, that's not good enough. Danny stepped in from the office, said, we've heard that line enough. We've covered each other's backs, we've taken the heat together, but being brothers doesn't mean we stop asking questions. You knew the rules, you knew how this works. You don't make the call alone, then ask us to take the risk. You knew the rules, you knew what we stood for. I'll stand beside my brothers, but I won't follow something I don't believe in anymore. Tom looked at Danny, said, you got a problem with me? Danny said, I got a problem with what you're asking us to do. Tom said, then leave it alone. Danny said, that's not gonna happen. I stepped between them before the room got any louder. I said, nobody's walking out, nobody's turning on the club. But if we're gonna handle this, then we're gonna talk about it. Tom picked up his keys, said, you boys can't figure it out. I said, that's exactly what we're doing, because that's what brothers do. You knew the rules, you knew how this works. You don't make the call alone, then ask us to take the risk. You knew the rules, you knew what we stood for. I'll stand beside my brothers, but I won't follow something I don't believe in anymore. Got home, it was almost 2 in the morning. She asked, did somebody get hurt? I said, no. She said, then why do you look like that? I said, we had a disagreement. She said, with the club? I said, yeah. She didn't ask me to leave them, she knows that's not who I am. She just said, don't let loyalty turn you into somebody you're not. I sat there thinking about it, then I told her, you're right. She said, then go back tomorrow and say what you need to say. You knew the rules, You knew how this works. You don't make the call alone, then ask us to take the risk. You knew the rules, you knew what we stood for. I'll stand beside my brothers, but I won't follow something I don't believe in anymore. I'm not leaving this club, I'm not throwing years away. But if we're gonna call this brotherhood, then everybody gets a say. I'll be back at the garage when the doors open again. Same brothers, same table, but this time we'll make the decision together. Tom walked into the clubhouse with two men from the east side. He put the meeting on the table, said we had a problem outside. He said, we're handling it tonight. I said, who made that call? He said, I did. I said, then why? But wasn't the club involved? Danny leaned against the bar, said, I've got something to say. Tom told him, not right now. Danny said, then when? Tom looked around the room, nobody wanted to move. I said, if this affects all of us, then all of us should know. We've taken care of each other, we've been through enough to know one man's decision can bring trouble to everybody in this room. This is our club, but not one man's decision. If you want us beside you, then give us the whole story. We stood together for years, we've earned the right to speak. I'll stand with my brothers, but I won't agree just to keep the peace. Tom said, you boys are forgetting who kept this place together. I said, nobody forgot, that's why we're asking questions. He said, you don't trust me. I said, that's not what I said. I trust what you've done for us, but I don't trust this plan yet. Danny put his keys on the table, said, I'm not going along. Tom stood up from his chair, said, then maybe you don't belong. I looked at Danny, then I looked at Tom and said, don't make this about leaving. We're trying to keep this club strong. This is our club, not one man's decision. If you want us beside you, then give us the whole story. We stood together for years, we've earned the right to speak. I'll stand with my brothers, but I won't agree just to keep the peace. Hey. I Got home around midnight. She was waiting in the kitchen. She said, "You look tired." I said, "We had another meeting." She said, "Was it bad?" I said, "It could get worse." She said, "Then don't let their problems become problems in this house." I told her what I could. She didn't ask for every detail. She said, "You can stand by your brothers and still tell them when they're wrong." I sat there for a minute. Then I said, "I know." She said, "Then make sure they know it too." This is our club, not one man's decision. If you want us beside you, then give us the whole story. Well, we've stood together for years. We've earned the right to speak. I'll stand with my brothers, but I won't agree just to keep the peace. I'm not leaving this club. I'm not walking out tonight. But if we're gonna stay together, then everybody has a voice. Tomorrow we'll meet again. Same room, same men. And this time, nobody speaks for everybody.